Crypto. XDB Digital Bits has had a rough way to go this year. Prices dropped down to 0.0021 cents on January 1st. We got an uptrend, got a rally there, had a high at 0.00365, which was looking hopeful, until we formed this head and shoulders pattern, which was a sign of doom that downside is coming. There was also this trend line that we were following. My stop losses were put in below this trend line at 0.0028, and I was relieved to get stopped out and avoid all this downward action. Needless to say, this has been some rather disappointing trading for the month of February. However, for you Degens out there looking for something to get in, there is an option. This is for traders only. We're not talking about investment. I don't think this project meets the fundamentals for a solid investment. And I do have a video coming out a little bit later today that kind of touches on that. But the current situation we're in, we made a bottom here. This is a potential double bottom scenario here. If we zoom out just a little bit more, go back to October 2022, we also had a bottom there. It's a little disappointing to me to see a low here, a lower low, and then yet make another lower low. Those are some things to be cautious about. But our daily indicators are telling us that it may be a good time to consider getting into this for a short-term trade. And we see the stochastics bottom out on the daily. They are tilting to the upside. VWAP is also past the upside. We got the green dot on the momentum wave. And also, if you'll notice, money flow through this whole time has just been gradually coming up. Now, these are all excellent signs for some upward movement. So it is in the cards that we could get a move to the upside. Let's go down to the 4 hour, take a little closer look at what's going on. Currently, we're in a falling megaphone pattern. It broadens out more than a channel. Now, this is actually a bullish pattern. And if you're watching this, what you want to watch out for is a level that will go straight across. This is what we call a partial decline, where price will come down, and it doesn't make it down to the bottom of the pattern. It finds a previous zone of support, stays there, and then it has legs to break out of the pattern. That is possibly what we're seeing happen right now. So this area right here of about 0.002 is a decent area to get in. Now, can it come down lower? Currently, the price is at 0.00215, and on the 4 hour, our indicators are a little bit top heavy right now, indicating that they want to come down. So I would look at this area. Now, if it breaks, you're looking at coming down here at 0.0002, pretty much even. And sometimes where we get these wicks, candle bodies will form and they'll close a candle body in those same zones. Those are some scenarios that you can look for over the next few hours. But now here's where I've got to warn you. I got some more targets here. This area right here, this pink line, was our negative 2.7. That's usually where you would find a bounce to go up to the upside. Now, if we lose this, there's a very good chance that we would come down to 0.00186, possibly reaching 0.00167. So those are two targets that I would keep on your radar, because if this level does not hold right here, you will be coming down to the bottom of the pattern. You will come back up, retest it, and then we're looking down here. That would not be a fun ride. So the safest entry, if you're willing to take this trade, is to find support here. Wait for the official breakout of this falling megaphone pattern and look for that retest. That should get you in somewhere about where it is right now. The only difference is, if you wait until this point to buy it, you can be pretty sure you can see some upside. If you go ahead and jump in now, there's no telling which way it's going to go. Now, banking on the fact that we do get a breakout of this, that we retest this 50 EMA here, about 0.00232, get over this daily resistance area of 0.0023, we can look at targets of 0.0024, 0.00256, 0.00264 is going to be an area that we're probably going to see a little bit of trouble trying to get up above. This is the resistance area that we had with this head and shoulders pattern. Now, typically what will happen, we will get a retest of this area, and then we will complete that pattern. This is pretty important since we have not met our measured move from this pattern. That measured move, when you apply it to the breakout area of the neckline, brings us down to our negative 61.8 area that we just discussed, 0.00166. Price structure here has broken this major trend line with a very bearish pattern. Most likely what we can see is this scenario, or possibly price could come up to 0.0029 in this area. So overall, what we can see is a breakout, a come up to this area right around 0.00268, somewhere through there, maybe a little less. It is highly likely that we get rejected in this area, and then we come on down to some of these lower areas, on down to this measured move of 0.00165. Not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but this is a very real scenario that can play out. And given the nature of what we experience with this coin, I would not be surprised at all if this is what we see happen. But now looking on the bright side, let's just look at the scenario. If we break to the upside, catch support here, we have another major trend line right here that we've got to get past as well. And if we were lucky enough to pass that, flip this area at 0.0026 as support, we could be looking at these higher targets, 0.0028, 0.0029, gradually just climbing the digits up, 0.00302, up to this level, 0.0032, with the major target that we're going to shoot for would be 0.0036, another 618 Fibonacci area, where it's more than likely this coin, if it hits that area, would get rejected and have to go through a correction. So if you're willing to take the risk of getting in some of these lower areas, you may see some very good gains here. From the area it is now back up to the retest, that's a 25% trade if you're willing to take that risk. Now, let's say that this coin bottoms out down here at the low bottoms and we come back up, and eventually that would have a very good shot of reaching this area here. Now, that could be 114% return if you can catch it in these lower areas, because chances are hitting here would give us that 1-to-1 return. Catching it from the breakout area on up to the area where it could get rejected, that would be a 16% trade. If it does continue higher, we would be looking at maybe a 40% trade on up to a 55% trade. So those are just some things that you have to figure out for yourself. Personally, I'm very leery of this coin, and I do expect it to eventually reach these areas down here. Again, one of the things we got going for us on the 4 hours, price was coming down, indicators are going up. We've got some bullish divergence there, first we've seen in a while. Now that could be what we need to get us up to these higher areas of 0.0026. But right now, it looks like it wants to trade a little bit sideways, test this area. Keep that area in mind, 0.00206, 207 area. As long as we keep that, we do have a shot of going to the upside. If this video has been helpful, hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Until next time, my name is Lane, your Crypto Road Dog, reminding you, you got this, baby.
If you like what you see, then please subscribe, eh? And if you like what we do, then smash that like button too. And if you like to drink it, leave a comment down below.